The only thing I did not like about the Emmett and Keisha relationship thing is Emmett clearly saying, yeah, it's fellas night tonight. We're gonna have the boys come over. We're just gonna play spades or whatever. And then Keisha kind of like in a roundabout way inviting herself. Like, dog, I got a problem with that because I just told you this is fellas night, and you like, oh no, I want to play. I could play spades too. It's like no one asked you to stay though. It was like, I got feelings for you. I know we got this chemistry going on, but no one asked you to stay. Hey, what's going on, folks? It's your boy Ryan, and this is another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. As you can see from the pop-up, that would be a huge solid if you could hit that like and subscribe for your boy. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode of The Shy. Overall, I liked it, man. I thought it was a very, for the most part, a positive attitude. I may not go in chronological order, but we're just going to cover some of the biggest or some of my favorite storylines from this particular episode. First, let me just say this, man. I hope the Shy protects Shaad at all costs. He's definitely one of the bright spots this season. Just coming up huge, man. Hell, let's get into one of the more intense parts of the episode. Bakari comes to the Smokies restaurant, and he's down so bad that he don't even put a mask on. He comes through with a hoodie just covering half of his face and sticks a gun right in Emmett's face. Emmett, of course, he's a good dude. He's not about any of that, life in terms of having guns in his face. So, of course, I could see how that could be a traumatic experience. Maybe the Shy flirts with that in some of the future episodes. But the hero, of course, is Shaad. He recognizes the voice. He recognizes that it's Bakari, and he literally talks him down from robbing Smokies to the point where he has him sit down with him, convinces Emmett to give him a free meal. All that, man. Shaad is dope. Protect Shaad at all costs. And of course, I'm loving this example of black love between Deja and Shaad. I thought it was very dope. You know how, first of all, he wasn't even used to getting a facial. And he wasn't used to women doing stuff for him. So the fact that, he's like, damn, thank you. I deserve to be pampered too. I appreciate it. Like, Deja is really opening up that type of, lane for Shaad. Like, yeah, I can cater to you as well. So it doesn't always have to be one-sided. I thought that was a very cool scene between Shaad and Deja. Shaad already is in the I love you phase, and they're only a few weeks in. So, just a highlight of it. And speaking of stepping out of your comfort zone or someone putting you in a new lane, even when it comes to the teenagers or whatever, I really enjoy how Shanice has opened Kevin's world when it comes to cosplay. That's not something Kevin's not used to. That he was hesitant at first, saying that wasn't his bag. Of course, we'll get into Jake later, but Jake hooks him up by preparing him for the cosplay event. And I think that's dope that you can be where you could be in a relationship that just opens you up to new experiences, such as Shaad and Kevin in this example of this episode. And speaking of Jake, like I said, just another examples of kids just trying to grow up too quickly. That was definitely, I think, probably one of the bigger storylines within this episode. Apparently, Gemma, after going back and forth of thinking it over, seems like she's leaning towards the side of keeping the baby. We saw, Jake was definitely sad when Gemma initially said she wanted to, have an abortion or whatnot. So yeah, I really love how that is transpiring because that's what's happening today. That's the type of stuff that's happening today with a lot of people. You see like a mother who's like in her early mid 30s and already has like a 19-20-year-old or whatever the case is. So it's a real thing that's happening. I'm glad shows like The Shy aren't shying away from stuff like that. So of course, Gemma's father is disappointed, but at the same time is trying to let Gemma make her own decision. I'm really liking how the Shy is stressing, hey, it's my body, my choice. All of that. I think that's dope, and I love how they're taking a stance with stuff like that. And it hasn't been determined on what side Gemma has 100% decided on. Like I said, the way the episode was going, sounds like she's leaning more towards keeping the baby, but we'll see, man. We'll see, because apparently her dad was like, I really need you to think this over just a little bit more, or whatever the case. And of course we got the old school dudes, Quentin and your boy Duda, real name Otis, thanks to Tracy. Yeah, man. They back into their old habits, and I think I said it last episode, man. This is what you get when you make a deal with the devil. It's like, this is what goes down. Even to the point where Duda was surprised with Quentin's move. So Duda and Quentin don't seem like they're on the same page. And am I tripping? I remember like back in the day, not back in the day, but like in the earlier seasons, like they both had henchmen for stuff like this. Like Quentin definitely had like some old school henchmen that was getting their hands dirty, so Quentin didn't have to. And the same with Duda. Duda had like some henchmen type folk who do this type of work for him. Like that whole thing with them confronting the workers or whatever, that definitely did seem like something that was below their level. That seemed like some henchman type of work that they would have someone do that for them instead. So that's definitely a change of pace. But of course, the reason for the deal with the devil thing, we see that Tracy is pissed. She seems like she's in a deal that she can't get out of. Quentin already made a deal where they're gonna get 20% of whatever type of hustle these low level package workers got going on. Duda is out there, as tough as Duda is, consequentially he still seems to be under Quentin's thumb. Now Tracy's charity organization is at risk, so she has no choice but to go along with it. It just seems like a big shit show that Tracy and her organization can't get out of now. This is what you get when you sleep with the devil, I guess, man. So that kind of sucks. And the final storyline, and we'll send off with this. This is twice now, in my opinion. This is twice now where Trig has been, told, hey, man, it's okay to live your truth. In the previous episode, we had Shaad breaking it down to Trig like, yo, man, we got gay senators, we got trans mayors. You don't have to lie to kick it, man. And we're reminded again when he goes on this, date with Fatima. Fatima clearly knows what's up. Fatima clearly sniffs out that, this whole relationship that Trig has is just a front, and that Trig really does like, trans women. And that's the thing. It's not like, as I mentioned, it's not like in the previous episodes, Trig and Imani was like some secret. But to Fatima's point, it's like, okay, so if you and Imani weren't a secret, why does your, attraction to trans women need to change now that you're running? And I think it's true, man. Like you have gay councilmen and, things of that nature, or whatever your preference is. I think we're at a point to where that shouldn't matter, as long as you're as real as possible in terms of being a politician. So once again, I think Fatima is also out there trying to remind Trig, you don't have to lie to kick it. Fatima definitely made it known that if Trig and Fatima is going to be a thing, Fatima would not be a secret. So, and I still think it's going to be to some effect. It's going to be something to where Trig is going to just lean a little too hard in this fake relationship, and someone is going to call him out for it, just as Trig, just like what Fatima warned him about. So I think this city council thing is still going to blow up in Trig's face, but we'll see. And oh yeah, and another, speaking of relationships, another thing that was a bright spot, definitely this chemistry between Emmett and Keisha is dope. They're definitely got some, I guess, a situationship. I don't know what you call it. It doesn't seem like they made it official necessarily. Well, they kind of did at the end of the episode. But the only thing I did not like about the Emmett and Keisha relationship thing is Emmett clearly saying, yeah, you know, it's fellas night tonight. We're gonna have the boys come over. We're just gonna play spades or whatever. And then Keisha kind of like in a roundabout way inviting herself. Like, dog, I got a problem with that because I just told you this is fellas night. And you like, oh no, I want to play. I could play spades too. It's like, no one asked you to stay though. It was like, I got feelings for you. I know we got this chemistry going on, but no one asked you to stay. I told you it was fellas night. But nevertheless, that wasn't like a big blow up or anything. It wasn't a blow up at all. Emmett just said, cool, come along, that's cool. But that's the only thing that I thought was kind of slightly whack. It reminds me of that Kevin Hart joke when he was like, you know, women just sense the, they just sense fun about to happen, and then they don't want you to have fun without them, you know. But just a small Kevin Hart reference there. But no, man, overall, I thought this was dope. And just to rewind just a little bit, another reason that made Shaad so dope is even though it was against Trigg's wishes, Shaad was adamant about letting Bakari stay at their crib. So that way Bakari can at least have a place to stay. You know, he's out there emotional after sitting down with Shaad, saying he got nowhere to stay. He's basically homeless. And he was robbing packages and pawning them for money. So please, let's protect Shaad as much as possible. You know, Ronnie was turning a new leaf in what, season 2 or 3 or whatever season it was. Saved Keisha from her abductor. And then next thing you know, Ronnie gets shot in the head. So I am hoping that Shaad doesn't have some type of horrible fate. After he's doing all these dope things, he seems like to be a very, very bright spot on the show and within the community of this Shy series. So nevertheless, folks, please, once again, leave that like. Let me know what you thought about some of the things that was talked about in this episode. And love it or hate it, folks. These are just my opinions. Peace.